And the music is over. So it means that it is time to start it with the 1, and then you start it with the 2, and then you go, hey there, welcome in live chat. Can you hear and see us? Whoop, whoop. Oh, my Facebook Messenger is broken. Anybody else got a Facebook Messenger broken? Or is that just me? Oh, there we go. Okay, now it's working.
Run and gun.
Run and gun show. Welcome, everybody.
Run with a gun.
That's
Unlike
not
scissors.
a hoe
Safe.
because you shared the show last week.
That's right.
We're going to get it out to a couple people here,
Avoid the
and then I guess that means it's welcome back to the TrutherCast, because it is the home of the TrutherCast, and we are here to take that truth order. If you're not familiar with us, you know, we're attempting to not just be two more blokes out here on the old interwebs, a bitchin' and a moaning and a black pillin'. As usual, I got a lot of awesome hopium pushing tidbits from the alternate news space that's off the beaten path that the mainstream media just ain't telling you about, or they're just, you know, bold face lying to you about, man. So we're going to get into that one in just a bit. If you're not familiar, like I was saying, you know, you should join us in the locals. You can hit that join button down below. You can join for free. You can sign up to help keep the lights on around here if you would like. And, you know, if you don't want to spend no monies, Mr. Dan loves to make sure that you can help us out for completely free.
This finger, this appendage you got, well, hopefully you got one at least left, or all of them. You just click share. It's really easy. You just boop. Sometimes it doesn't register and you gotta boop again. And then bing, bang, boom. Easy as that. And then you're caring. You get karma points. It's like adding you got beans in two different jars. Imagine one jar's the beans to get you to heaven, the other one's the ones that sends you to hell. And they want to put more beans in one of the jars, obviously, and well, I think it puts some beans into one jar. Easy tokens. Weekly easy tokens to get your heaven beans.
Heaven beans?
Heaven beans. Those would be some actual cool beans. other than that, me and a buddy had a discussion about the saying cool beans, you know, like, I mean, like what? It just, I mean, they must be like some like cool beans. They got some sunglasses on there, like the emoji, the little bean emoji with sunglasses.
Oh,
like
the
maybe they're cool like
the
that,
literal
but-
autistic version.
Yeah, because like actual cool,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
nobody wants their beans like cold
They're
or
like-
cool, you know, at least lukewarm or medium hot, you know.
Yeah, I don't know where cool beans came
preferably
from.
hot, like fresh out of the kitchen. That would be the way I'd want my beans, and that would actually be good. So we actually started saying warm beans
There you go.
instead
Yeah.
of cool beans.
We're literal
Just-
around here.
just
We
to
must say
start a
warm
trend.
beans. No one want cool beans. Warm beans.
make sense. I can't say that like that But yes, other ways.
If you
wise
are
ways.
a special person yourself or have somebody you know, let us know in the live chat down below or the comments if you're watching in the replay, man. But the saying usually goes, you know, don't be a hoe, share the show.
Yep.
And then Mr. Asman taught me why you don't want to be a hoe. You know why you don't want to be a hoe, Dan?
Because gonorrhea hurts.
Because hoes don't get chose. So that's my new one. You say I don't be a hoe, share the show, and I say because hoes don't get chose.
Yeah. I mean, chose as in like picked, you know?
Forever wives, they never get chose if they're hoes, man.
I mean, definitely not as the forever wife. They definitely get picked as the nightstand.
Right. Which, you know, ideally you're past that in your life. If you're like past, you know, like 21 years old.
Can't say they're totally losing. They're still winning somewhere.
Yeah, you know, like some, you know, for someone.
Hey, you can't fully call them total losers, but
Wilkinson says she
I don't even want
votes.
to bring it back up.
She votes for
those guys
room,
are absolute losers.
she votes for
That's
room
your
temp
post.
beans, actually.
Room temp beans. I mean,
I don't know
If
why.
we're talking about like some snap peas, yeah. Maybe just a tiny bit chilled. Just a tiny bit.
Tiny bit. Hey, Wilkinson, my auntie said that Dan was a little bit quiet last week. I don't know if he was in like a low energy episode or if the mic was low. I bumped it a little bit, I think. But let me know if we're coming in all good,
I
please,
had
in the live
re-listened to
chat.
that episode and I had noticed that I didn't say anything.
Last episode?
It was either the last one or the one before that. I can't remember.
Last episode was the first one you came back? No, second one.
I think it was the first one I came back.
Okay.
So maybe it had to been that one.
I mean, you've been having a rough week, man, you know.
I'm having a rough
You have a
year.
rough, yeah, it's not like
century.
a 2026, yay.
I can't remember when it started.
So, you know, you're a little up and down on episodes, you
I've
know.
just been
Fucking life, bro.
surviving.
If life be
Yeah.
getting you, sound off in the chat down below.
That's
What-
just life.
What is life like? I hope TrutherCast Monday nights can be a slight refuge to, you know, complain on the internet all together in commiseration, right? You know, and take a break
That's-
from
Yeah.
personal life complaints.
Right. Is Trolley in the chat? Yeah, he definitely be doing
Really
the
likes
heft
to
of
complain.
complaining. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, Dan's warming
Not
up,
here
man.
yet.
First one I would like to complain about. It seems like it's broken. 1 second. It's funnier when it's like that. So it would seem that, unfortunately, folks, it is an end of an era. In the OG himself, Mr. Alex Jones will officially lose the battle over the brand name InfoWars, and the libtard onions will officially gain controlling of it. And just to troll this poor man,
I'm sorry. I thought we had a shot. There's just too many of them.
But there are more of us. There are more of us.
I can tell you this, that we
this is the logo they're going with. That just to troll the man, I feel, bro. That's crazy. But apparently he came into the show earlier today and said there might still be a legal battle going on to like save it or something, but like it's not looking good, folks. He might lose the InfoWars branding that we all grew up on as Tinfoil hatters. If you're like me, I've been watching him for over 20 years. God bless.
Yeah.
Not all the time
liberals.
now, but I used to get my information from this man, bro. It's what got me started. God.
He was one of the ones also called a loser.
Yes, in the Trump post, yeah. Loser Alex Jones saying a bunch of crazy stuff. I don't know. He lost all of his money.
I think it was Asman that was talking about Thomas Massey is probably going to be stupid popular because he like wants all the same policies, because like the people want the policies of Trump, but they just don't like Trump's ego and like his personality and everything. So, and Thomas Massey wants those policies, but doesn't have like that personality. So it's probably going to.
But he also wants different policies that we disagree on, because then he's fighting against Trump a lot this term. So it's frustrating. I forget what they are exactly.
Yeah, I think there's like one or two. I think
what you don't understand is it's a whole total. It's a total package.
Just the Israel crap, more than likely.
He was bitching about the going to Iran battle thingy, which is tough, bro. I feel like it's one of those where you have a personal and a public opinion, like Hillary Clinton said.
It's also like if you want to get like really super literal with things by definition, why not? Because like we never were out of the war.
And it never was a technical war.
Right, and that's the next
like
one.
The other one, yeah.
Technically, it's not like we're. And they're like, "What do you mean?" I'm like, "All right, we're like, yeah. You just gotta get knowledgeable. There's
because Ukraine's not a war.
Fights. There's been battles. There's battles. There's wars.
Well, to steel man it, Ukraine is not a war, and we weren't literally going there, but we still were bitching about Biden putting us at war technically by proxy war.
Yeah.
You know.
And then there's.
But we feel like that was burning our money.
I mean, really, it's like, if any of it, if we're just going over and harming people, you know, I mean, like war or not, you know, missiles or guns or not, like if you're going over destructing somebody else's society and culture.
That's one thing.
That would be like, that's just what we should maybe kind of.
And then everybody just.
If we should do these things or not.
Everybody just swipes the nuclear dust under the rug and doesn't like, oh, they were like literally a month away from having a nuclear warhead, and like also allegedly they set up the frickin' shooting of Trump because he took out Soleimani in the first term, like. So I mean, I kind of feel like they deserved it, but hey man, pour one out if the InfoWars is gone. I hope that doesn't happen all the way.
The Iran thing, I see that as just finally feel like we've invested all this money and it's just been a bleed for a long time. We've been bleeding, and he is now just
how much Obama give him?
We like, I don't know what to do for a metaphor per se, but. He's cutting off the bleed. He's like putting in the last big, surgery that's needed to stop the bleeding.
Cauterizing the wound.
Like, the last. It's a little expensive, and a little drastic, but it's what's going to seal it up.
Cutting the limb.
Because we've been invested in this for a long time, and these people, all these Congress people, have been getting rich off all the stock stuff because they know what's been going on. So they've been in and out. They know when to pull in and out. And that's why their portfolios soared through all these few years for what their net worth has grown to off regular stats. Like there's some super traders. So yeah, great. Let's take care of these terrorists that actually want to come here and harm us and have in the past, and stop the gorge of money year after year after year.
Stop them murdering thousands of protesters.
Yeah. Let's get what.
It's like 1,100 last year, I think.
Finish what the goal was, and then continue on, which is pulling out and being not up their butts.
The other one is
unless they want to make some paperwork deal where they're like, "Yo, we actually are gonna come on over and run this stuff. We're gonna forfeit it to you, type of thing." Depending on the regime because if you take out all the terrorist regime that's running it, who knows who comes in? They might go, we want to make a deal.
Right.
And then guess who's all about deals? Trump. And then he's going to, all of a sudden.
Allegedly, he's down with Xi right now because they made a deal.
Yeah.
And so Xi Jinping is like, oh no, we can't go against them. And allegedly, they were kind of scared off from the military prowess of all the Maduro and the Iran, and so
all these people that are mad about no new wars, like it's not a new war technically. So really what they're mad at and what they thought what no new wars meant was,
You're not going to send any missiles anywhere. You're not going to authorize us to bomb anywhere. We can't blow anything up. We can't fire around anywhere. We can't shoot nobody.
And it's a little bit of you don't say that on the campaign trail, bro. But
like you
don't say, like,
living in
no
a
new
fantasy world.
If Dan was,
you think that's how this world is gonna roll, and it's gonna be peaceful.
If Dan was running for president, there's no new wars. But what I mean is, I will maybe shoot bombs. I may actually do economical attacks, but not new wars. A new war. Let me explain this.
If the prairie dog, aka the terrorist, pops his head up, it just has to get popped. I don't know what else to say. It's like a law of the land. It's a law of the land. It wasn't my rule. I'm just following them.
Joe Rogan was highlighted in a video I was watching today of when he was talking about the Joe Kent shit, and he was like dogging on Trump. Before we got one coming up, him and Trump are kind of cool right now. We got one we're gonna cover here if you haven't seen.
Well, like when Joe's
we'll get there. We'll get there. So the clip was funny because he was saying like, oh, dude, him and Trump just got together on this thing, and just last week he was like, yeah, Trump said there was gonna be no wars and no nothing, and it was all like technically misworded shit. It was like, yeah, nah, dude, he never said that. He said no new wars. He never said like, no military strikes.
If anything, this is just protecting ourselves from terrorists.
You're right. And then also
like that, if there's an ongoing problem and it has been for decades, you can't even really call that exactly war because they're in different countries and they're always moving. It's just making sure there's not terrorists, and they just happen to harbor in Iran.
And problem for who, bro? Just us? How many different countries were they a problem for?
Right, yeah, exactly. Ask the music festival.
So they were problems for a few countries, and then who helps those countries and sends them money to protect themselves from the Iranian Ayatollah terrorists? Oh wait, that's us. So it's like a second, third order effect too, right? So we go solve problem where they're saying death to America, they're trying to assassinate our president, and then but also maybe we send a little less money to Israel because they don't need to support themselves from the. Oh, maybe we send a little less money to Lebanon or whatever because they got less terrorists trying to come after them or something. We create peace by coming out and being a little bit of a big brother bully or something like that. Maybe it's necessary, man.
Yeah.
What up, Trolly Mo? How you be doing there, Troll?
We have to play dad since, all other countries pretty much depend on our military force. And
so again, Trolly, how is it no provocation there, buddy? We just went over that, man. So Iran literally had a nuclear bomb a month away.
Oh, they
had 97%, enriched. And then they also attempted to murder Donald Trump himself, which was a past and then now current president. They also, what'd you say about the music festival? They went and murdered a bunch of innocent people at a music festival.
Different countries.
And there's a lot of provocation there, man. Interesting. Next up here, I got for us, folks. I don't know what the meat of the potatoes of this one is.
Also, another thing, war generally is because you are taking over a race of people from a certain country and because you want their land or you hate that people.
Like a full kind of conquering of land.
This is just all we're doing is going to a place where they live and schmiting out the evildoers.
Yeah, right, bro. 47 years of
pretty much. We're not interested in Iran. I mean, did we control the poppy field?
We don't need the oil. We got plenty.
That's not Iran even. That's Iraq.
That was Afghanistan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I don't know the big meat, the potatoes of this one, but I swear, dog, if Obama actually gets arrested,
what do you believe how it is, Trolley? So tell us the real truth of how it all is. The super knowledgeable, inconsistent Trolley.
Yeah, tell us the very articulated explanation there, Trolley.
Maybe we'll ask Jill.
Bro, if Obama seriously gets arrested, dog, people are going to be ding dong, the witch is dead in the streets, bro.
Yeah.
So first off, we've got Caroline Levitt coming out here giving us the update. And then we have also a Tulsi Gabbard update on this.
Another matter, over the past few days, Director of National Intelligence Tulsi Gabbard has unveiled shocking new evidence that former President Barack Obama and top aides in the Obama administration conspired to subvert President Trump's 2016 election victory and undermine the democratic will of the American people, while publicly pretending to engage in a peaceful transfer of power. In private, former President Obama went to great and nefarious lengths to try to sow discord among the public and sabotage his successor, President Trump. The new evidence released by the Director of National Intelligence, who is here with me today, confirms that the Obama administration manufactured politicized intelligence, which was later used as the justification for baseless smears against President Trump in an effort to try to delegitimize his victory before he even took the oath of office. The truth is that President Trump never had anything to do with Russia, and the Russia collusion hoax was a massive fraud perpetuated on the American people from the very beginning. And the worst part of this is Obama knew that truth, and so did all of the other corrupt officials involved in this scam, including former CIA Director John Brennan, former Director of National Intelligence James Clapper, former FBI Director James Comey, former Deputy Director Andrew McCabe, and many.
The whole effing list of them, bro. I am so glad that this is not going away, bro.
The key findings from the House Intelligence Report, which investigated the claims that were made by an intelligence community assessment ordered by President Obama and published in January of 2017. First, Putin's principal interests relating to the 2016 election were to undermine faith in the U.S. democratic process, not show any preference of a certain candidate. In fact, this report shows Putin held back from leaking compromise.
Her version is way more boring. Caroline Levitt had more like gusto to it.
Yeah.
I'm flipping back to Caroline.
Director of National Intelligence Gabbard's report further confirms what we already knew. There was no collusion, no corruption, except on the part of Barack Obama and the weaponized intelligence agency's first administration. Allies of the president, including his own son, Donald Trump Jr., were disgustingly smeared as Russian assets. And
Donald Trump Jr., most indicted man in all of American history due to the Russia collusion hoax. Absolutely wild, folks.
some even had their lives destroyed.
Wilkinstein's reading his book right now. She says pretty dang good. She just got done with the Melania book. That was good too.
Because of this vicious lie. The president's first 2 years in office had this fake distraction hanging over it and endless resources, time, and political capital implicating those who tried to sabotage a duly elected president and did grave material harm to our republic. Thanks to additional important work done by CIA Director Ratcliffe, Committee Chairman Rick Crawford over the past few months, a newly declassified 2020 report prepared by the House Permanent Select Committee on Intelligence, which DNI Director Gabbard has declassified, found that the intel community did not have any direct information that Russian President Vladimir Putin wanted to help elect President Trump in 2016. And in fact, Russia was actively preparing for a Hillary Clinton victory. But at the unusual direction of Barack Obama at the time, the intel community published implausible intelligence suggesting otherwise. Why? To sabotage the incoming president. This is truly one of the greatest political scandals in American history. And reporters at legacy outlets, some of which are sitting in this room today, like the New York Times and the Washington Post, were ridiculously awarded Pulitzer Prizes for their perpetuation of this hoax. It's well past time for those awards to be stripped from the journalists who receive them. It is not journalism to propagate.
Yeah, they got Pulitzers for agreeing with the fucking hoax, dude. Oh my God, it makes me so angry. Bro, so hopefully we get some.
How much stupidity there is out there, just rampant.
Dude, wasn't it a horrible time to live through, bro? That's like our parents living through some crazy, like, ripples of, WW2 times or something like that.
Basically, it's always generally a thing of the people that are aware of things and they see it over,
right,
and
bro.
then the ones that are just going around like
100%,
more,
right?
And then the rest of the ones that see are just like,
What are you gonna do?
Is there any fix to this? Yeah. What's the point? Like,
Right. But this is the best it's ever been. We've got the press secretary coming out and being like, yo, dog, the DHS lady just dropped some shit on that bull that was like going on. And we got the informations now. Like, amen, dog. I ain't never seen or heard of none of this before, dog.
Got another jab in at least.
We're the old people in the chat, man. Like, what is this the closest to, man? Like freaking like, Watergate type stuff when that came out. But then I hear that was all a setup against him, dude. And like, he wasn't as like guilty about that as the history books claim. So definitely here for the finding out if there are legal avenues to which Mr. Barack Obama committed some sort of seditious conspiracy at minimum.
Barack Hussein Obama.
Gotta make sure you get the Hussein in there so the young people know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Why does he keep saying that? Well, it is his middle name actually. I know, go figure, right? It wouldn't be a TrutherCast episode if we did not have some sort of a highlight on voting fraud, I think this is. Yeah. So we got Delaware County, Pennsylvania election officials caught on secret video shredding 2020 election evidence and plotting a cover-up with 327,000 alleged fraudulent votes. Wait a second.
Man.
Did I just read
No.
on video?
Second scanner. We gotta talk about it more.
Here's Tom Gallagher again, lawyer for Delaware County, destroying voting machine tapes to bypass the right to know request.
And then let them try to figure out what we did.
Hey, where's this video been?
Mom, why do you have to rip it off? It makes you feel better?
Yeah. We got a system. I don't want anybody to pick it out and take the true stuff away.
Oh.
We gotta have a little campfire going.
This is insane.
What we have here is evidence. What we have there is evidence. Right? Let them figure that out.
Yes, but what I don't understand, and this makes me nervous, is why tapes were being thrown away. So what is...
Those tapes were...
No, you guys have been throwing away tapes, so what tapes are you throwing away? Like, why?
Because they're unidentifiable. There's no way they could,
Well, it's been that way since the November election, so why would you throw anything away? Because you have to save it for 22 months.
Well, let's put it this way. Yes, there are tapes that are being thought, but they are of no audit value. Of no
Yes.
audit
Made this
value.
It's like when they covered up the windows. No value. Being. Bro, what is all this shit? I haven't seen this yet, dog. This is all brand new shit.
Why did it take so long to come out? Why did it come out this time?
I mean, regular people are scared of maybe being like attacked or offed, right?
Probably. I mean, they got a decent fear to be.
Oh yeah, Eric Trump, not Donald Trump Jr.'s book. My mistake. Good call, Wilkinson. Sorry, sometimes I mix up the kids' names. I meant Eric Trump. He's the most indicted man of all American United States history. Bro, this is crazy. Unreconcilable votes across dozens of precincts with claims this hid massive irregularities. Lawsuit alleged 327,000 fraudulent votes in the county, explicitly saying it's a felony. Yeah, as we heard. That's crazy, bro. So, like, hopefully that be, again, it's a little bit of like the pre-story, folks, so we'll have to see what the meat and potatoes is, but make sure to, the Bloginator was working tonight, so the receipts are down in the description box down below. If you open that little guy up, past the sign up not tolerate tech. If you have a computer, check that out. But right under that is the receipts. So you can go to the website and you can pull all these links up to watch the video like on your own if you're more interested, or maybe I skipped through some of it, or if you need to share this out to somebody you know, right? So we got to help spread the awareness. You know, share it on your socials. If you're too, scaredy cat to share it on your socials, send it privately to somebody that you know, friend, family, or maybe you got a troll, like the troll hanging out here that needs to see some awareness. Because, with the awareness, folks, comes that realization, we believe around here, folks. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Next up, bro. So I'm telling you, bro, I got the wins. I got the potential, okay? And these are all setups, okay? They're not like full people going to jail. Well, a couple of them later. They're not full, the big memes, like, the Obama, like somebody that was doing election fraud.
Hussein Obama.
Like the Ilhan, what's her middle name? Omar.
Well, I never even, I don't think I've heard her. They don't normally say her middle name. It's normally her middle name.
So this one here is another, like, it's the setup. I just assumed it sounded that way.
I just want to go home.
So I said GTFO, bro. As soon as it's been found that Ilhan Omar became a millionaire by way of potential fraud, allegedly, the wine business.
Of course, it's an accounting error. Yes. The
investment company. All of a sudden, she looked into her books and said, "Oh, shippity shibwabs. That was just an accounting error. That darn accountant." Now, Dan, if you all of a sudden reported millions of dollars on your taxes, and then all of a sudden you just said, "Oh, my bus is an accounting error," do you think the feds don't come in and try to arrest you?
More like you better get audited, at least.
At minimum.
You have to get audited now.
You don't think they would just be like, "Oh, we understand it was an accounting error, so no problem." I'm pretty sure that doesn't matter, right? Like, didn't freaking Wesley Snipes go to jail and it was his accountant that was like cooking the books? Plenty of people have gone to jail.
That's how they got what's his face? The notorious gangster Chicago, Al Capone.
Right.
They got him on tax evasion.
Right. Like bro, countless people have been like, "Oh, I made a whoopsie," and it's like, sorry.
Her to see if she's evading taxes now or not. Because you go from millions to not, like, okay, that's a big deal in your tax books.
So I'm curious how this plays out legally, right? Because was it a big deal? Like, what did was she paying her tax burden on the millions? I'm confused. Because if she paid that, maybe she's in the clear. But if you were using that personal net worth valuation to take loans out, there's some fraud there for sure.
Yeah, I mean, either way,
I'm no accounting man.
Other people that, if she had any years that they actually filed and it was not correct, well, they better have to deal with the rules of everybody else.
Right, that's my point, right?
Now you've broken the law because you misfiled on, and now they're gonna have to see if it was on purpose or not. Either way, you're gonna have to owe money.
Like, I feel if a regular citizen was like, "Oh, whoopsie, it was just an accounting error," they'd be like, "Sorry, you're still paying the fines or going to jail."
Yeah.
So that better happen with her, dog.
Our country's at a tipping point. We could go bad. We're at a tipping point. I don't know if people mind me saying that, but I'm saying it. We could go one way or the other, and we're going to go the wrong way if we keep taking in garbage into our country. Ilhan Omar is garbage. She's garbage. Her friends are garbage. These aren't people that work. These aren't people that say, "Let's go, come on, let's make this place great." These are people that do nothing but complain. They complain. And from where they came from, they got nothing. They came from paradise, and they said, "This isn't paradise." But when they come from hell...
Yeah, right.
Our country's at a tipping point.
Right. Yeah, something's gotta happen, bro. Something's gotta happen, man.
Yeah.
Something's gotta happen, bro. We're catching people.
Hopefully it's nice. Hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully.
I seem to have some doubts about that being 100%, but I had to make bets.
we always don't got to go to hanging, right? It's not 0 to 100, okay, man. Remember, there's other ways that we used to shame people for these kind of things, right? We had, putting them in the stocks, maybe some spit, maybe a little rocks, tiny rocks, maybe tar and feathering, maybe tar and feathering, and kick them out into the public square.
I mean,
I don't know.
That was actually pretty brutal. I mean, because the tar normally had to be pretty freaking hot, so you normally get burns and all sorts of stuff, and then you get infections and eventually.
But it's not hanging. We're still not at 100.
Yeah, we're still not at 100.
Stock and then tar feather.
Yeah.
But they'd probably just use some 3M tar, so it doesn't need to get all heated up like the old days. I
don't think 100 is hanging. I think 100 would be like having a village hippo, and you just give them to the hippo because you know how the hippo does it. It's
like the slow, yeah.
Oh, I mean that bite, bro. It's gonna be just vicious,
right? Put them in a tornado.
Yeah, hanging normally they don't scream at all.
Yeah.
The hippo, you're probably gonna get a scream or two.
Yeah,
and generally that's the sound what triggers in the human brain to go, dang, that's not good.
I did things wrong.
They are screaming because they did this and that. I might have to rethink about if I'm ever in this situation now and possibly doing this or that.
That's the point, right?
Because that looks like it hurt. Getting hung, it's like, whatever, shut the lights off. We all probably wake up at some point and go, I don't want to do this. No. Can we turn the light switch back off? So that's just like almost an easy out for some of them. But if it's painful on the way out, like a hippo completely decompressing your rib cage before you're so you can't breathe, and then you couldn't breathe if you wanted to because your lungs are filled with blood, and then that's right before it goes further and crushes your spine, which either you're luckily enough to lose your vision and all sense of feeling, or it's excruciatingly painful. Well, you have full still feeling of what's going through the rest of your life of, as you know, for maybe a minute or couple if you're unlucky enough. Hopefully you're lucky to just bleed out within the show of it, 10
right?
seconds.
Because it's a different version of awareness. With that awareness comes the realization of perhaps I shouldn't commit those, crimes as well.
Village hippo. It's an idea.
Maybe we could add them to the moat. Sometimes we take people from outside America and put them in the moat. Sometimes sometimes we'll take people from the inside and put them into the moat. It goes both ways. That makes sense on both sides here, folks.
I would think the ones that like touching the young ones should be the ones that also get touched then inappropriately in the moat, per se.
The wood chipper might be too quick. Yeah.
Let them get touched and poked.
I like Village Hippo.
How it was to them,
I like Village Hippo. Over here, folks. This I don't know if everybody's going to be into this one as much as I would. So let me know in the live chat if it's boring and we can jump ahead. But what do you think about this? Let's do a thought experiment real quick, okay? Let's say that you magically time travel, right? You wake back up in some dumber time, okay? And there's a bunch of just dumb people in a tribe or like a city that you're in.
I don't have to imagine too hard.
And you're pretty clever, right? You know all the things that you know now. And how do you get all these people together and incentivize them to build better buildings and make a hospital and make a police station? What do you use to easily get them to automatically just start being motivated to create a better city? Like, what's the first thing that you would invent that you'd be like, I've made this, and it automatically gets everybody to start being motivated to build things and make a better city? So I'm looking for money.
I was trying to think a little past that.
In our historical reference, there's two things I thought of quickly, okay? Does anybody else have anything else? There's whipping people and slavery. That's one way to make them build things and make a better city for you. And then there's money. So it's communism or capitalism. Maybe I'm getting to boil it down to just two simple things, right?
It doesn't have to be money. It could be, you know, food and housing and which is technically kind of money.
Right. Well, so then you have to give that to them or something, right? You know, so that's kind of like slavery. Like, hey, slavery is like, if you don't work, I'm not going to give you your gruel, right?
I guess because if it's a certain thing where it takes multiple days, then you'd have to have. And then if they broke an agreement, then it get all complicated. Yeah.
Right. And then so the capitalism version is the money.
A little easier.
Hey, if you work, I'll give you the money that allows you to go get food. And you know the cool part about this one? It's not gruel. You can go and buy any food you want. You know? Oh boy, wow. Okay, I want to work. I want to get the money. Okay. So now modern day, we're using money, right? But now we're gonna get AI. So now AI is here, right? And AI is moving in. And AI right now, I was watching this clip of Mr. Tim Pool. He said he's talking to these high-level tech guys, all these like CEOs or something, mover shakers, and they claim that what we have right now is like 3% of what they actually have capability-wise in the back end. Okay? So if that's true, they already have the AI capability to completely wipe out all middle management white-collar jobs overnight. Like bean counting.
They should already have a Star Trek Enterprise, too.
Right. Now, do you remember what the currency in Star Trek was? Because they had the magical creator machine.
I don't remember what their currency was.
It was just honor. So it was literally just like you wanted to do better. Right. And the more you did better, the higher rank you got and people cared about it. So it was a little bit of a imagination world, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then they never went to like the poor place of Star Trek. It was always, you're on the fancy ship and you're flying around.
Right, yeah, that would be interesting.
We'll wonder how the poor place works, right?
Yeah.
Like,
do you even have a ghetto?
right. They're like, actually, we got rid of them all. And then we made the show. Didn't want to talk about that part.
Wait, what do you mean? What do you mean you got rid of them all?
Hold on. So if that is true, and we have enough AI power to immediately like wipe out all middle management jobs, as soon as you put that in a robot, that wipes out all the low-level blue-collar jobs. And right now, the 3% that they've released, for whatever reason, they chose to attack the creative industry because the creative stuff is actually the hardest. And so Tim's argument, no offense to the middle management, white-collar workers, but your job is maybe not as, quote, difficult as like creating something from scratch and turning that into an entertainment product or a, artwork product or something like that, right? So like, most middle management, or a lot of it, not all, is here's a system. You just need to be smart enough to implement the system that's already given to you by the corporation and then get the monkeys to do it. And if monkey steps out of line, talk to monkey, get him to get back on system. If not, send him to the firing squad, right? Send him to HR, right? And so if that were to happen, how do you motivate people? Because everybody's saying UBI. And I said, for the first time, I'm considering UBI because if, white collar workers are taken over by the AI machine, blue collar workers are taken over by the AI robots, how do people live? And so I'm considering UBI as a solution. However, if somebody is working a wage job, and right now what you got is all the millennials or, the just millennials, mostly younger people, right? Bitching and moaning about, I work all this, they should just give me money like UBI. If those people are already working wage job, but they're not working hard enough to do their creative thing they want to do, it's very unlikely that if you gave them enough money, they would still have enough of that fortitude to create something useful and productive. One may say. Yep. So then how do you incentivize people to not just go to playing video games all day, depravity, just having monkey sex all day, how do you get people to be motivated in this AI world of AI does take over the necessities of middle management, bullshit jobs, low-level labor jobs, You know, where do we get the regular F people that aren't super duper magical creative thinkers? How do we get them to help manage society still and make it progress, right? Maybe it's not necessary and we're thinking in this current old paradigm or something, but I thought that was interesting.
Yeah, just switching where work's got to be done.
So now I ask you, I don't remember the details. I just know it's a bad thing. But what is the 2030 agenda?
I mean, part of it is depopulation.
And
That's
so
for sure.
What if the depopulation and the 15-minute cities and the 2030 agenda is all because they started creating this AI system back in the 70s and somebody smarter than us already thought this all out to the current position?
Oh, like that's like 2030 is basically an AI like plan.
Right.
Right. Yeah.
And I'm like, well, God, you know, maybe it's another gun, like I say on the show all too often, right? If the 2030 agenda is by bad guys, probably not good for us. If maybe some of the things out of it are for good or done by good guys, maybe it's good for us. You know, like what was the 2025 agenda thingy they were trying to put on Trump? And it was like, well, some of those things are in his campaign promises, but not all of them, right? Like, so I was like, yeah, I didn't look into it, man. But 2030 agenda is by, you know, allegedly the, you know, global elitists, you know, the bad guys, Illuminati, whatever you want to call them, right? But it is definitely something that's been in the plan since the 70s, and they're a lot smarter than us, unfortunately. And so maybe this is their version of dealing with AI completely making a lot of the societal job system irrelevant. Because you're going to need to put people in a small area so they don't freak out. And, you know, you're going to need maybe a few less people so they don't go crazy. Like, you know, and it's like, I don't think that's a good idea personally. I think there's another way, but I mean, I don't got the way, so I'm the idiot.
Well, I mean, less stupid around isn't necessarily that bad.
Which sounds really mean, but, you know, it would be beneficial for everybody.
It'd be less annoying, but at the end of the day, it's also kind of like not having another herd in your cattle. Or another cattle in your herd.
Right. Weakest link, man.
Or just numbers, you know, like, you know, you might as well have another one could die off. Might as well have another for when one gets injured and you need another one to pull the sled.
Right.
You know, you need that. But
then you're in a slave system mentality, right? You're like, oh, I'm only keeping him around so he keeps pulling the thing, you know, and it's like right. That's interesting.
Like humanity in a sense. We're all here just to kind of like keep something going.
Somebody's got to pull the sled. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, what is the sled? Where are we going?
Right. What's the point of it all? Something. I don't know. I've been watching a lot of like space documentaries going to bed, and they're all
been the question.
And they're all quantum physics, bro. And it's like, man, what is the like? It keeps going smaller. They figured out that the double slit experiment is now faulty. It's still true, but it was like done different than like what should have been because like something superposition. Yeah.
Another variable. That needed to be comprehended.
Like,
with.
oh, guess what? It's not a clear cut thing again.
Yeah.
Somebody has thought about some hole to poke in it, and it's like, oh, dude, come on, man. So your head doesn't hurt when you think about that shit too deep, sir? What? Because my brain starts being like. And I watch the video a lot longer than most people I know. It's what I put on for Emily to go to bed. She goes like poof, and then I'm like, I gotta get sleepy, man. Come on.
Generally, I just gotta start talking. That's what puts everybody to bed. Sorry, everybody else on the end of the mic. If you're all on the end of the TV, the phone, whatever, you're getting sleepy. Listen to me talk.
So this
just a natural side effect.
This guy, I'm not sure if they're awesome or not, but they were just talking about how the UBI doesn't actually work, and some of the ideas that I was kind of talking about, man. He was like, you know, UBI does, like everybody thinks, you know, oh, magically UBI works, but you know, first of all, It's not even true for these creatives. If you ain't creating creation maxing, while you're wage jobbing, you're probably not going to do it when you get UBI, like I was saying. But very, very interesting concept,
Case in
bro.
point, let's look back on history. Did Hitler's Germany end up working out?
Dude.
No, it did not. Yeah. Well, that was based off an idea of UBI.
But then the communist idealists say, "Oh, that wasn't done right. Oh, that doesn't mean it didn't work. That just was a bad version." Which,
they just had to put a racist at the top. That's why it all didn't work. No,
the steel man, bro. That could be true.
I mean, it didn't help it exactly, but
it could be true.
It also then gets deeper in all the, CIA involvement and all the drugs.
This dude says the truth is that we are close enough to
more complicated.
We are we are close enough to the UBI today that most of the people who will ever become great artists and inventors are already going to do it. And as we get closer, all that will happen is people incapable of anything more than wage slavery, most people, will simply become dysfunctional parasites. Mean to say? Very true, in my opinion. Mean to say, but very true.
Nope.
So, are you a creative or are you a wage slave? I like to think about myself as a creative wage slave, so figure that out.
Yeah, I would probably.
That's called coping.
I would have to say that's how I would think about it too. I am creative and I am a wage slave, so I must be both.
And then if you're into this and if you're not familiar with the Tim Pool or you like them, here's the link for it. It is in the receipts blog link in the description box down below. You can click on that, take you over to the website, and then you can pull this up and check out Mr. Tim's opinions with
Black Beanie Man,
with the board of chatters there with him. He always has a good crew. Who do you have on?
We've got this tweet from Evan Luthra.
Oh yeah, I didn't know this guy.
Mr. Black Beanie Man.
Usually he got some celebs on or something, but it was a good one. A good thought piece, if you will, if you're into that kind of heady shit right there.
It's
Check that one out.
Just amazing.
Check that one out.
That Black Beanie. I wonder how many he's got.
Yeah, bro. I'm like, do you change it every day? I hope so,
if his
man.
closet is kind of like Peter Griffin's, where he's got just like a few hats on a hanger.
Or Doug.
Like, yeah, just
same outfit.
Yeah.
That's how I've become. I'm like, I really like this sweater. I just want to buy 5 of them.
I wonder if Jews have one single yarmulke or multiple yarmulke.
Yeah, bro. I think clean people have to know.
Yeah.
How dirty is that? Are you allowed to wash a yarmulke, or is that like?
Right, yeah, I would think like you.
What's
have
the rules on that, bro?
Yeah, I think you'd have to.
Is it unholy or some weird rule?
Literally never gets dirty for all them years.
Doubt it.
I'm gonna not say things because it's not gonna. It's gonna. Yeah.
It's not racist. It's just factual.
It's just pointing out certain statistics.
I'm
not gonna do it.
I think we covered this last.
I want the show to not get shut down.
Right. I think we covered this last week, but if not, did we hear about the Stop Nick Shirley Act?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he said, unfortunately, folks, here in Illinois, he had to put a pause on the Chicago exposing, and he ran back to California to talk ish on them about the Stop Nick Shirley Act, which is Bill AB 2624, criminalize journalists with misdemeanors, $10,000 fines, imprisonment, content takedown. Let immigrant-based NGOs funding be confidential. Completely seal the records of immigrant non-governmental organizations.
Communism. Dictatorship.
Take away freedom of the press.
America great again. So make America great again.
All right, it's 10 o'clock.
So basically, we're one step away from North Korea.
There's no way this goes through, right? Yeah.
I mean, like if you're spreading complete misinformation on purpose. I mean, I guess there is supposed to be like, I thought there was a code of
Checks and
journalists
balances
back in the day. You know, like obviously, because like freedom of speech is one thing, but then defaming or all the, that's why people get sued, and there's all that stuff because you can't just purposely try to burn someone off, you know, misinformation.
Like ridiculous or some, you know, grandiose of some nature, like. But no, dude, this is what America's like founded on.
It's just scary from their side because we know what they do. If you give them any sort of bit of power, they're gonna run with it. So it's like, or weaponize it more like.
Yep, that's what they're already saying, bro.
They're just gonna use it to hit the people they don't like. If it's not going against their following the rules and they just don't like them,
again,
because
folks,
the other person's better than them or whatever, they're just gonna use this as like a thing in their toolbox. Like, yeah, look, I beat you because I used the law. Yeah, the law that you like congregated all just for your own benefit.
Yep.
Yeah,
again,
that's really winning the game. More like you crafted the game to win for yourself, and then you went, look, I won. You suck. You formatted the game so you could win. You're a coward at the end of the day, for the most part.
Sometimes smart, rig the game, win. That's what winning is.
I mean, it's not going to be funny when Karma rigs and wins his game against you next.
Right. And so, you know, I am biased here and I don't cover like some of the negative stuff, but the Democrats are already literally telling us what they're going to do when they get in power next, bro. And it's cracked down on all of us, dog. It's not good. It's not good. Let's listen to what Nick got to say.
What do you think about the Stop Nick Shirley Act?
I think you're a psycho scam artist.
They don't want to end their fraud racket. A lot of the politicians, they benefit from the political organizations, and so they want this racket to continue. They don't want the truth to get out.
Stop fraud investigations, but you're the one who signed off and you're a co-author of it. Here in California, they are trying to pass the Stop Nick Shirley Act. The official title of this bill is AB 2624, and today we're going to be confronting the legislators that are trying to pass this bill. And if this bill were to get passed, instead of going after the fraudsters, they're trying to make it criminal to go after the people that are committing this fraud. For instance, it would become criminal to film and reveal info on taxpayer-funded immigration services like healthcare, which would include daycare, hospices. It also covers counseling services, translation services, and immigration legal services. So for instance, if the Quality Leering Center was inside of California, it would be illegal to expose them. It would make it illegal to film government-funded NGOs. And this bill essentially wants to shield the info of immigrant support services from the public. So your tax dollars, you'd have no idea where it's going because it would then become confidential, and you would not be able to see how much money that NGO is getting if it's going towards immigrant services. And what makes this bill super interesting is the lady who created this bill, her name is Mia Bonta. Her husband is the Attorney General of California named Rob Bonta. You cannot make this up. So you have the Attorney General who's supposed to prosecute and go after the fraudsters, and then you have his wife who's trying to pass bills to go after the people exposing the fraud. Like, seriously, this is absolutely crazy. And the AG, Rob Bonta, just a few days ago said they were cracking down on the fraud way before certain people came into the state.
We've been doing it successfully before certain people in this country decided to think about it for the first time.
Sounds racist.
However, it was only after I exposed...
We have been frauding successfully, and now all these other people are doing it wrong and getting it exposed.
Getting us in trouble.
Over $100 million in fraud. They actually made any arrest here inside of California. Let's say this bill gets passed. What could happen to you if you expose fraud or go and look into...
Absolutely crazy, folks. Go and follow F and Nick Shirley on the X. If you ain't got an X account, folks, what are you doing? You can follow him on Facebook if you're still on the old Facebooks and whatnot.
I got an idea.
Follow this kid and share this ish out, folks. It spreads the awareness, man.
And hey Trump, can he make a what's it called when he expunges all their like things that they did?
Pardon?
Yeah, except hey, pre-pardon. They try to
pull a Biden.
Yeah. If you guys come after my son for anything, he's just not guilty of whatever it is. Yeah, just make it where you can't prosecute this kid for any of these journalism things. make something so they basically want to come right at him. Give them the biggest shield.
Right.
Kick them right in the dick back. They're trying to slap us. Kick them right back.
Aided immigration support service facilities, healthcare facilities.
And healthcare is at the very bottom of this. But that's where a lot of the fraud's taking place, inside of Medi-Cal. For instance, the hospices, the daycares are with CalWorks, but they're with anything to have to do with immigrants, essentially could not and is actually punishable.
You're 100% right. And that's where, again, the devil is in the details. Their definition of harassment is repeated, unreasonable, and unwelcome conduct. What is unwelcome conduct? Simply you asking questions today, can that be considered unwelcome? What do they mean by things that you could generally fear? So if they say the words, I was harassed by Nick Shirley, if you were out videotaping a hospice, you would fall under this because healthcare facilities is a designated immigration support service facility. That is part of the definition. It is written here that if you post this online and they give you a demand made under that paragraph shall be effective for 4 years, where you could be punished. So what people really need to know is that the state of California is deciding to punish the journalists out there that are doing the work and exposing the fraud instead of punishing the fraudsters in a government.
Pretty clear.
Yeah.
Pretty clear.
Yeah.
I don't know if I need much more explanation, but I'll probably watch this for, entertainment later and just to give him the views. But if you would also like to give him the views, like I said, follow the Nick Shirley, follow the Nick Shirley, follow the Nick Shirley. Share the ish out, folks. God bless.
I know. Need to.
Link on the receipts link in the description box down below on the website. Check it out, folks. God bless this kid, bro. God bless. They make a whole law because he came in there and popped something off, dog. Again, like what? I can't remember how many phrases we had, but for the you ain't got nothing to hide. Why would you do this? Tell me you're committing massive fraud without telling me you're committing massive fraud. We gotta totally shut down people looking into who's doing the fraud.
Hey, yo, so yeah, you've probably seen that kid Nick Shirley. He's kind of getting popular and exposing all of our money avenues. We should do something about this, but obviously he's too popular, so we can't do the whole Iran Trump thing. So what do we do about it? Well, good thing we got some people in the political ranks and making the laws. We're gonna reach out to them, maybe send them a little little warmer upper gifter, little just something to lean them away per se, and then it totally wouldn't be money. And then they'll just go put some legislation in where it'll just make the law to where what they're doing is illegal now because we have the power, and so we're just going to make rules of keeping us in power because that is what we do.
Wait, who's the king?
Oh, yeah, all of them. They're all kings.
They sure think they're king.
Yeah.
And then not getting out and voting in your local effing politics and the state and the blah, blah, blah is, not helping. I like the one going around this week. It was if you're a Republican and you don't go out vote, you're electing Democrats.
Yeah.
And it's yep, very true, man. Very true.
Yeah. At least got to give it a shot.
I know, right,
Even
bro?
if you think them that's the thing.
They want you so defeated, bro.
We've set up a system where there's still somewhat of physical, they can't fake all of it. So we just have to show up in numbers and outvote them.
Too big to rig. I called it, Dan. Too big. Too big to rig.
I mean, which is only just you showing up and doing your part, which is casting your vote. You just make a minimum effort, get to a polling office. Maybe you can make a whole day of it. Maybe you never get out of the house. Go vote and get a croissant or a donut after. You earned it, man. Get a bear claw. Really, really hash it out.
Next up, folks, we have got the hilarious but equally as awesome. Okay, not equally. This is way more awesome than it is hilarious. So we've got the story here, folks, of all of a sudden, after a few weeks of Joe Rogan bagging on Donald Trump for the Iran war and other crap, all of a sudden, he's got to kiss the ring, bro.
Tell everybody how this happened. I sent President Trump some information. We have a gigantic opiate problem in this country, obviously. In 2024, more than 80,000 people died of overdoses. It's a horrible number. And there's more than 5 million people that are addicted to opiates right now in this country. With one dose of Ibogaine, more than 80% of people are free of that addiction. With 2 doses, it's more than 90%. I sent him that information.
That's wild.
The text message.
That's absolutely
I don't
insane.
know how the heck that works. Like, who figured
It's a hallucinogen.
Who figured that bit out? Whoever did that.
It's like
deserves-
shaman shit, bro.
Can those people that had the Pulitzer Prize, can we transfer?
Bruh. It's
they minimum deserve something like, I don't even remember what the Pulitzer Prize is supposed to be, but obviously then the other people don't deserve whatever prize it is. So
it's like
at
I
least
believe
make
it's,
use of it good.
I believe
still.
it's like a
Give it to
freaking
someone.
old great journalism award, bro.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they need a Nobel Prize.
Yeah, Nobel,
for
right?
This probably that would be more fitting.
So I believe, lack of a better comparison, it's like an ayahuasca. It's like a, light hallucinogen or a decent hallucinogen that just kind of helps your body just reset its shit and get it together or something. But I've been listening to Joe Rogan for God knows how long, man. How long's he been doing the effing podcast, bro? I got on a year or two after they started doing the damn podcast. And he's been talking about Ibogaine, I think, for the last maybe 5-10 years or something like that.
Yeah, I love how Trump shoots back. He's a little more liberal, than most of you.
Yeah. With 2 doses, it's more than 90%. I sent him that information. The text message came back, sounds great. Do you want FDA approval? Let's do it. It was literally that quick. These drugs are illegal not because they're harmful. They're illegal because of the 1970 Controlled Substances Act that was passed by the Richard Nixon administration. They did it to target the civil rights movement and the anti-war movement. It's not because these drugs harm people. And for 56 years, we've lived under those terrible conditions. We're free of that now. We're free of that now. Thanks to all these people that we see next to me, and thanks to President Trump.
Man, dude, give it up for Rogan, dude. Give it up for Rogan. Honestly, dude, how good does he got? Crazy. The liberal in him, what he just basically I bet if that's the main obviously accomplished way more of but that just that alone of him doing his work podcasting and trying to get the info out there, that's probably worth us all just right there. He's got to feel so I hope he feels dang good.
The whole show was worth this moment.
Yeah,
you're saying
if he didn't do that, that might not have happened.
It wouldn't have.
And,
it wouldn't
now he has a moment of history. He said he
that's
actually
a great point.
flipped something that was 50 some years, and he was a person who made a rustle in the bushes to get this thing changed back to where it should be.
To help people with opiate addiction.
That's his whole thing of his podcast,
Great
spreading
point.
help and so that's got to be so fulfilling to him. So proud
hats off,
proud
bro.
for you, Joe.
Hats off, dude. Thank God for that dude, man. And then also, how about to not bitch out? And he went through with it. He could have said, "Oh, I'm not going to stand up there because I'm going to take the heat, bro."
He's been kind of talking not the most positive about me, so I don't need to, go up there and do
him
that.
just showing up, bro. So I got a liberal that I've been going back and forth with on Facebook, but she's pretty logical, and I think her family's very conservative, so she's not a total off the reservation libtard, but it's rough. But we go back and forth about Trump. But she posted, well, this is great. This is absolutely amazing. Posted the Joe Rogan Ibogaine thing, right? And her off the reservation libtard friend is like, Joe Rogan, oh my God. I was like, what Joe ever do to you, fam? Jiminy Christmas.
Yeah, what did he say that really puckered your behind?
So just because he did something with Trump or something, bro? What, dude? Okay, so weeks of Joe Rogan being middle. So
which is, again, these people have hate in their head. That's what it is. They just have
TDS,
hate
bro.
running it, dude.
TDS, bro.
The whole thing is to come together.
Yep.
Like it. It's like, okay, like, yeah, if he was a pedo, we wouldn't want to come together with him. Like, he's a sexual predator. Like, got to really follow like the actual details of the thing. But anyways, like, still, president of the nation. All these people voted for him, and obviously think he's not that bad. So why? Yeah, ask yourselves what is it? Do you think the other people are just that dumb and you're that smart? Maybe you should look in the mirror or put yourself in that other person's shoes.
Well, empathy you have to have first to do that.
Yeah,
and so most people don't have empathy.
Yeah, which is again that goes to the some people. How would you have felt today if you didn't eat breakfast?
Yep.
But I ate breakfast today.
Yep. You're on that one now? Yeah. Yeah.
Dude, that's been around. I haven't been off that one since I heard that. And I've spread it around to awareness to a lot of other people. I forget.
That's a good one.
I forget who. Somebody in my circle just said it like a couple days ago.
Yeah.
That's where it's fresh in my head.
Yeah, Tim Pool said it a while ago, but then I've started hearing it on other guys I watch, and I'm like, that's interesting how things spread so quickly on internet now, bro.
Yeah.
Back in the day, a saying took forever to spread around, dude. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's just.
And now ideas, man, are transcended so quickly by sharing the show and not being a host. So make sure to thumbs it up, folks.
That's the best thing. The internet is an amazing tool, but
Slap of the thumbs up.
Any other tool, a sledgehammer,
crazy, bro.
Great for busting concrete. Also, you could bust skulls with it. That's not good and productive. It's how you use the tool.
Yeah,
a
correctly.
gun. It's a great tool for defending. When you use it for sadistic purposes,
not for robbing
obviously
people.
It's bad. It's all just a tool and how you use it, which is why morals and how we bring up our kids and our community, is the most freaking important.
Amen, dog. Oh, speaking of that, there's a new Capcom game, and so you're in space, okay, and you go to this little moon, and there's they built a whole structure on the moon, and oh my God, you're there with a team, and you guys are going in to inspect, and there's nobody there, something's off. All of a sudden, there's a moonquake, and your whole team gets murdered. And so you're there, and you fall through a hole, and you wake up, and there's a little girl, and it's a little girl robot, and she heals you, and then you go on adventures in this big moon thingy, and you're blowing up the bad robots that were taking over the moon thingy, and you're going on this big thing, right? All the libtards on the internet are freaking out and trying to call this game horrible and terrible and bad. And they're trying to call it. They're trying to call it a pedo video game because it has this little girl who's cute and white. And they haven't said it yet, but we're all waiting for it to call it extreme right because they're all upset because it's a man helping a little girl and he's worried about keeping her safe. And they have this father-daughter bond thing going.
I think the team should make a real quick edit, change the girl to a darker skinned. Doesn't have to be of any ethnicity. That'd be the best part. You just make it like neutralish dark, so it could the baby you can't identify. It's just like not white.
Yeah, but then it'd be like
make it not
they
the
them.
dad. And then you put it out and see how they respond. Just as like an.
I'm pretty sure Capcom's Japanese too, so it's like they're Japanese, bro.
This is simple. They do this with lab rats all the time, and with scientists, it's the same thing. They're just not lab rats; they're just lab rat humans.
But it's crazy.
I mean, they'll do it just like the lab. They'll do it just like the lab rat. Because I mean, honestly, the lab rats might have more intellect.
Same thing, man.
Than some of those lab rat humans out there, unfortunately.
So weeks, Mr. Rogan's trying to get some of his liberal friends back on the watching of the show and being a little bit hypercritical of Trump and ignorant, in my humble opinion. Then he has the Ibogaine, press briefing with Mr. Trump. And I think this show was after it. I don't know. Maybe this is an old one, but the Joe Rogan podcast news thing, he shared it. So maybe they were pulling up an old one, but I thought this was interesting.
What you're seeing with Trump, regardless of his flaws, is a massive concentrated psyop. They've distorted who he is to the point where most people think that way. Most people think that way. They've had narratives.
What is a psyop? I keep hearing that.
Psychological operation where they've decided to just.
Yeah, this one's before.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, let it play a little more because I'm pretty sure
people's
Ari-
perceptions of things.
Yeah, when you tell like an older liberal that like the
yeah, so like
You've seen this one before.
Well, I seen him recently, like him within a week or two ago.
Okay,
and like it was live. Like he went off for months. Nobody's seen Ari, and then apparently that's how he does it. He just kind of like disappears for a couple months, and he comes back and didn't do any self-care. Beard's like out to here.
Oh wow.
So that obviously hair takes so much time to grow.
Yeah.
So this was more unless he just shaved it all off and then did this with the guys as a podcast.
Sure.
Obama deportations were higher than the Trump deportations. They go, no, what? No. And you go, no, let me just Google deportations Obama versus Trump. And you go, it's lower. They go, wait, what? Like, here's 19 straight articles saying that I'm right.
Yeah.
And they go, that doesn't make sense. And you go, right, focus on what's giving you the reality of the world.
Check this out. Jamie, go to that Hillary Clinton thing that I texted you today.
JMO.
This one is wild. This is Hillary Clinton in like 2008, and Hillary Clinton saying some wild MAGA type shit about.
Oh, she used to say the wildest shit.
The wildest shit about illegal immigrants. Hold on, go back from the beginning. Do it from the beginning.
That's the beginning.
I'm just like terminally online, so I feel like these are all topics from like a while ago.
Well, I feel like I also watched a little bit of this episode when it came out, and it was like months ago, because like I feel like he the one guy with the sunglasses generally has the same-ish look. So my brain can't, I don't have a specific like, was it for sure the leather jacket or not? I think this was the episode I watched ago, but it also could be super duper recent.
Okay, do it from the beginning.
It is.
But want to hear it.
We got to have tough conditions. Tell people to come out of the shadows. If they've committed a crime, deport them. No questions asked. They're gone.
This is a good one.
If they
She's a Republican.
If they've been working and are law-abiding, we should say, here are the conditions for you staying. You have to pay a stiff fine because you came here illegally. You have to pay back taxes. And you have to try to learn English. And you have to wait in line.
You have to wait in line. You have to wait in line. And everybody's cheering. 2008. Hillary Clinton was more MAGA than Trump. How about that? But how about that?
Wow.
She's more MAGA than Trump.
And then
it's
you
all
couldn't believe
a
that if you watched the
fucking
news.
illusion. It's all a
What happened to this Joe, bro? Bring this Joe back, man. I feel like, he's no dummy. I think he's just playing a shtick, giving it to Trump, man, to just, I'm still in the middle, guys. I'm still in the middle, But like you said, man, it was funny if you watch the whole Trump thing, because he does say like, yeah, well, Joe's a great guy. You're maybe a little bit too liberal sometimes, but I like that. I got a lot of liberal friends. That's fine. I have this one friend. He was on Ozempic and it wasn't working. He was a big fat still.
Dude.
But now, things are great. And this ibogaine. I want to say it right, folks. This ibogaine is very good. It's a good thing.
Ibogaine.
Ibogaine. Well, however you say that, I want to get it right, folks, because this is very important.
Man, trying.
That's got to be old, bro. That was all talking points from like a while ago. I remember those going around the interwebs.
Right, yeah.
Here
Hard
is
to find a specific episode.
the weekly snap of the White House social media account. I swear to God, bro, I want to know how much this guy's getting paid, bro. It's like this team is nasty, bro. The copy, they said, let him cook.
I think it's more of the song, but yeah.
What I liked is they mashed up a few generations here. They dropped "Let Him Cook." That's a freshie. That's like a Z.
Right. That's
a Z. But then they went Boomer soundtrack. Okay. Then they went Boomer audio song. Okay. Hit you in the good vibes, right? So you get Boomer to Millennial with that. And then they did Millennial hype editing. Okay. Sorry, Gen X. I don't know anything you're famous for, guys. I'm sorry. I don't know. So hopefully there's a Gen X in the live chat or the comments, later on the replay. Let me know. What part of this were you represented in? Because it got the Gen Z, let them cook. Got the millennial editing. Got the boomer sound audio track.
They're just left out.
I think the Gen X didn't do shit but work, bro.
They're there.
All they did was work, man.
They're there to Karen to let them know what they don't like about it.
They're there. So I wasn't really, I'm not the biggest like internet drama kind of show here. I like the news facts. I like the hopiums. I like the politics, a little bit of, culture, more culture war. So this is a little bit of more of the drama section. Okay. But we all know Mr. Tucker Carlson or Carlson, if you will. Mr. Qatarlson,
alleged new nickname.
Alleged friendly with the Qatarians. Okay, he just bought a home in Qatar, but he's flip flopped. He's one of the losers, like Dan was saying before. One of the losers.
Easy.
So apparently he didn't know that he was poking the dog here, folks. And he put Patrick Bet-David's name in his mouth.
Here's Patrick Bet-David on his podcast a day or two ago. Watch this.
I don't know why Catholics, have this issue with Jews. I don't know what it is. They have this. I don't listen. I get the Jews have issues with Christians, and they'll make fun and they'll say stuff like, "Oh, your Jesus is gonna do." They'll say, "Well, he was a Jew anyways, right?" Yeah. But then Catholics have that issue with Jews. And they act like, they're all innocent and everything. And when you look at Catholics, the amount of centralized power they have. Centralized. If you know what the total Catholic population is worldwide? It's like 1.213 billion. Jews are 15 million.
15 million.
But Jews are decentralized. Meaning Jews don't have somebody they listen to that says, "Hey, you better do this." Catholics, God forbid you say something about the Pope. They're like, "Hey, man, listen, who is that Pope figure in the Christian community? We don't have one." No. If I ask you right now, who's the Pope in the Christian community, you don't have somebody to look at. Who is a witch pastor?
Yeah, exactly.
No, they don't. We don't have one.
It's an independent network.
It's the Bible. So if you look at only Catholics and Muslims have somebody that they look at as their supreme leader, like, you got to go to somebody. But even more, it's Catholic.
Well, there's only two theocracies in the world.
Catholicism?
Islam. I'm sorry, the Islamic Republic of Iran.
Yep.
And the Vatican.
Yeah.
Those are the two major theocracies.
So actually, the Vatican is very much like the Nazi Iranian government, the theocratic government, the mullahs. It's all basically the same. They've got the complicated dress. They hate the Jews, as Patrick Bet-David just said. Catholics have a problem with the Jews. A problem with the Jews. It's slander. It's an attack on the world's largest and oldest Christian denomination, and it's taking place openly.
I didn't feel very attacked.
And it's all coming from the same source, which is Israel. The issue is Israel. Anyone who supports the Netanyahu government, not Israel as a concept, not all Jews, no, the Netanyahu government, anyone who ratifies every decision, no matter how violent or grotesque or genocidal of the Netanyahu government, those are the good people. And anyone who doesn't is a Nazi. And by the way, their religion itself is a Nazi religion. It's an inherently anti-Semitic religion.
So Tucker, it's interesting. I watched this video a few times, and respectfully, I want to respond to you because you're a formidable voice. Whether I agree with you or not, you're somebody that's very good at getting your message out there. And I think at this point, if there's anybody that believes in your ability, it's a guy like this who, after I sold my company, offered you $100 million contract. I even went on your friend Megyn Kelly's show when I announced it, and she was asking specific questions. I said, yep, we went to your house, we made the offer, then we spent some time together. I came to Maine, and we did your show, and we've had a couple good conversations together. So I believe in you. I think you're funny, quirky, very good communication, and you have your way of doing things. It's almost like you do twist words a lot, and I noticed you did that with me. He hates Catholics. He hates this. Catholics hate the Jews, and all this stuff that you did. It's a little bit of your shtick, which I get. But let me kind of get into a few things I want to address with you in this video, and maybe you're not aware of it. A few things you need to know about me. My number one priority is to make sure America stays as the greatest country in the world.
Amen,
Period,
brother.
full stop. I'm America first. I'm a Christian, non-denominational Christian that you need to know about me. And by the way, I'm Armenian, which, by the way, the first nation that accepted Christianity as their religion was Armenians. And the only ones that debate Armenians on them being first is Assyrians, and my dad is Assyrian. Maybe that's the reason why my parents divorced each other twice, married each other, and divorced each other. So Armenian, Assyrian, Christian, America first. I want this thing to be the greatest country in the world. I want capitalism to be common sense for everybody, to realize that if a new person wants to come up and have their dreams become a reality, I want that to be out there. But I wonder if that's where you are today. You were always there for many years until what's happened with you the last couple of years. So let me kind of address a few things. So you said something a couple weeks ago. You said Sharia law has made Islamic societies more advanced than the West. Huh.
I don't know. Do y'all want to watch the whole thing? I can zip to the punchline.
This dude's gonna
bro. Yeah, bro.
So hard.
Yeah, dude, I like Patrick Bet-David, so I'm like,
Tucker's good at getting people oh, what? Oh, you say what? Oh. Yeah. But it's more entertainment, not brass tack facts.
Yeah.
And Patrick Bet-David is gonna
and throwing accusations and ideas around.
Yeah, which is it gets oh man, I'm kind of interested in that.
Right.
It's entertain.
Which
it's entertainment
we liked it.
serving.
We liked it when he was getting the bad news. Good.
Yeah. Now it seems
to
like
tell the
he's
people about the bad news or something.
Right. Now it doesn't seem like he has exactly a
right. Well, because now
is
he's
Tucker Jewish at all?
Yeah,
that's what I'm wondering.
He just bought a home and guitar.
It's interesting. Sharia law has made Islamic societies more advanced than the West. It's a pretty bold statement.
That's what Tucker said. Now let's see what Mr. Iranian himself, Patrick Bet-David, thinks about Tucker's statement.
I mean, it's like you're selling Sharia law more than you're selling America. You had a guest on a couple of weeks ago. Your guest said, that capitalism should not be anywhere near Christianity.
You see the smoke bellowing in the background from him cooking?
Christianity is socialism at its core. You almost agreed with them. And you're like, yes, and you almost agreed with them. So socialism, Christianity at its core, you almost sound like you're supporting maybe a Mamdani in New York or maybe an Ilhan Omar. Maybe those two will be in your podcast in the next few months. I don't know. I'm trying to see what you're solving for. See, this is kind of where I'm at with my life that most people don't know about, but let me kind of share it with you. For 7.5 years, I worked with Mormons. Guess what? I read everything I could on Mormons, and I realized it's not a denomination for me. I'm not interested. I watch all the videos you're not supposed to watch. Ask me how many bad experiences I had with Mormons. 0. They're phenomenal people. I work with Seventh-day Adventists, and I learned that on Saturdays, there's Saturday, Sunday, all these different things. Very interesting. Guy named Juan Rivas, big community. Not for me, but guess what? I got along with them. Jews. I notice Jews, when I do business with them, it's very interesting if you negotiate with them. They're going to be very, very making sure they get all the benefits on their side. But ask me how many times I've had issues with Jews. Never. Okay, if you ask me about Catholics, I built an insurance company with 60,000 insurance agents, 54% Hispanic. And what do you think most Hispanics are? Catholics. Never had one issue with a single Catholic in my life. And last but not least, Islam, Muslim. I lived with them for 11 years. When you say Sharia law has made Islamic societies more advanced than the West, I lived with the IRGC and the Hezbollahs in Iran, where my mother and my sister were frightened to walk outside. That's this guy.
Wait a second. Here's a thing of wisdom and learning. as you like to do in life, you probably shouldn't talk about things you haven't actually had your hand in and really actually don't know about.
Or at
You're
least so
just reading-
vehemently.
You're only reading headlines. You're not getting inside source information, any of that. The guy, you're going to make claims about something
hold on.
of a guy
Wait.
that literally
Hold
lived
on.
in it.
You're being rude.
Has Tucker even traveled to Iran? Maybe.
Hold on. You're kind of being rude. Tucker can't read, dog. He's dyslexic. He's dyslexic.
Hey, I'm dyslexic too.
And so he probably didn't read any of the things you're asking.
Oh, yeah.
But it's true. He's dyslexic and doesn't read a lot.
I lived with them, okay? Not hypotheticals. And, you know, we are now both very wealthy. You come from a very wealthy family. I think you also may have married into a wealthy family. And you made a lot of money. You made
Tucker Carlson married into the Sinclair family, which is some like clandestine dynasty type mega super rich
And they went, honey,
media
what
company.
do you want to do? And they asked, honey, what do you want to do? You know, like, and he was like, I really want to be a journalist. And they're like, well, if you want to, we'll fund you. And they funded him, and they had their connections because they're up there, and he got into journalism. Here's one of those situations where just because what their dream is doesn't mean they're good at it or should do it. Sorry, but I'd say probably the guy that can't read very well,
1991,
couldn't be the ones like repeating facts that he's seen or possibly read if he can't read.
He was good.
That
He was
well.
good when he was talking, and what he did is he gets a lot of intel from having good relationships. So he gets intel from relationships and gets these things.
I don't
but
know
he
if you can
notorious
understand words out of somebody's mouth if you can't read them off a text either.
Right. But he notoriously says that he does not go on the internet at all. He does not watch TV at all. And he gets all of his information, or most of a large majority, from just trying to communicate with other people kind of thing. Good and bad. Good and bad there. Good and bad there. You know.
Generally,
anchor.
people-
What do you call it?
people
Anchor
always
hosting?
End up having more of birds of the same feather flock together, so you'll end up having more of the same like
Bro.
bias grow.
Bro.
together. It's very hard for somebody to be so integral.
Okay,
to
bro.
Make sure the ratio of like certain views and whatnot is even, but yeah.
I wanted to see how accurate your pontification was, because I don't want to jump to any conclusions either. But he got married into the Sinclair family.
Man, are you about to tell me I might be right?
In 1991, okay?
Oh my gosh, dang detective.
In 1991, he married Susan Thompson Andrews, daughter of the headmaster at St. George's School, Rhode Island. Okay?
Rhode Island's got a lot of interesting people that come out of there. Biden. Oh wait, or is that Delaware? I think it's Rhode Island, ain't it?
Oh, wait, so this is saying that's fake news? He didn't marry into the Sinclair family? Some online rumors confuse this with wealth from his stepmother's Swanson family side. Okay, anyway, he married into this. Okay, further evidence needs to be clarified here. But he got married in 91, bro, and he didn't become a TV anchor until 2000. So it was post getting
if
married.
It was stepmommy's money or in-laws money. Either way, they're like, "What do you want to do, Sonny? What do you want to do, Tucker?" He said, "I want to do journalism." Well,
At least, yeah, he had the back funding, right?
I don't know. He hasn't been that bad at it, but you know.
Swanson TV dinners.
Yeah, the Swanson TV dinner.
So different side of the television. Yeah. Okay. But they had the money for him to do kind of
they're not
like
bad.
probably whatever he wanted.
They're not too bad.
He got a sugar mama.
They make a pretty decent TV dinner.
Oh my God, I haven't had a TV dinner in decades.
I haven't either, but I still remember them.
A lot of money in your life and your business is doing very well today. When you go to dinner, you're having dinner with people that are going to make sure you see the best side of everything you go to. When I went to Mumbai, they showed me the best part of Mumbai. I went to the slums because I wanted to see what it looked like. Whatever part of the world I go to, I get treated royally today. Why? Because they want to show me the best. But I lived in the worst when our family had nothing. Literally nothing is what we had when we lived in Iran. Regular places, we lived in the city of Tehran. But you know, as crazy as that is, do you know my chef that lives with us? When we go on the road, he's with us all the time. Do you know he's Muslim and he's Turkish and he's still a Muslim? And do you know what Turks did to Armenians and Assyrians? You ever heard of the Armenian genocide or the Assyrian genocide? You ever heard of that? 1.5 million, 300,000, 200,000. I love this guy. He's a great guy to us. He's very good to us because I isolate the relationship with that individual. And I still tell him how concerned I am with what Islam could do to America. I am still concerned of that, of what's happened in many different societies. Look at, you know, what they're doing in Minnesota, many markets that we read about. Look at what's going on in New York right now. Look at what's going on in a couple places in Plano on how they're growing. And so Charlie Kirk, whom you and I think both admire, Charlie Kirk once said, I think it was 2 days before he was killed. I think it was 1 day before he was killed. He said, Islam is the sword the left is using to slit the throat of America. Let me read it to you one more time. Islam is the sword the left is using to slit the throat of America. Do you agree with Charlie? Because I do. I do. Because it's all like, hey, let's make it not a big deal. Let's be tolerant. Let's be tolerant Christians. Sharia law has made Islamic societies more advanced than the West. Let's just be tolerant. It's okay. Let's be tolerant. Let's accept all this stuff. Let's allow all this immigration that's going on in UK. It's not a big deal. They're not that bad.
Bruh, he's heated, dog. He's cooking.
It's fine. They don't live the way you do. They just don't. They don't live by the values you and I live in America. They don't. Now, if you I have a lot of friends that, you know, like Andrew Tate chose to become a Muslim. If you've already converted, but you've not made the announcement publicly, listen, to each his own. You're making that decision as an adult. I support it. More power to you. But my priority is America first. My priority is to make sure we advance America in a way that young men are able to make enough money to get married and have 3+ kids, preferably 4, and be able to have their kids' dream become a reality, where if they want to go build a business and make billions, do it. If you want to make millions, do it. If you want to go in the military, do it. If you want to go out there and, you know, have a regular job, making $58,000 a year at whatever company, but you're happy about your job because you're a school teacher, go do it. That's what I want.
Regulars 58.
And as a Christian man, non-denominational, Christ is king. I say that comfortably.
Amen, brother.
My life changed the day I accepted Jesus Christ as my Savior, January 21st of 2004. I will say that to a Jew, to a Muslim, to a Catholic, to anybody. That's my faith. And every day I fall short. When we first moved to Florida for the first 30 days, every single night, I would walk and I would listen to this version of Amazing Grace because that's the only thing I relate to. Those words, you know the words. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound. That, I want to read this thing to you, that saved a wretch like me, like this guy. Regular guy, a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found, was blind, but now I see. Jesus Christ changed my life. And I'm a Christian man saying this, a business owner. Most people don't know what I do throughout the day. I run companies for a living. I'm not a media guy. We've grown this business from 9 employees to 165 employees. I'm in meetings from morning till night, and I love what I do because I live in the greatest country in the world. So, message back to you. I don't want to be enemies with you. Although if you want to be enemies, I'm okay with that as well. It doesn't bother me, but I don't want to be enemies with you because I actually want to believe deep down inside, you love America. You love America. I want to believe deep down inside you're there. And whether you know this or not, you have a lot of influence right now. I do think one of the topics that's going to be an issue on the ballot for 2028 will be Israel control, AIPAC, all of that stuff. And I'd like to see how that, pans out and how it goes, because I like debates. I watch these debates. I watch what takes place.
Right.
I watch to see where the market is going to. So I don't know. I don't know what you're doing. I don't know if you're trying to get behind a Massey because I think he's a pretty capable, talented guy. I don't know if you want to run. I don't know what you're solving for. I don't know if you're like, well, I don't care if we win the midterms. I don't care. Let a Democrat win. Maybe sometimes America needs to go through the pruning process because I want to see destroy the GOP and start all over again. I don't know. Maybe that's the vision. If it is, more power to you. That's not my vision. My vision isn't that. And I have a sprinkle of libertarian in me because I want to be left alone and just kind of allow me to do that kind of stuff. So whenever I have the conversation and I listen to it, Dave, I agree with a lot of the stuff libertarians also believe in, but I think there's an end to it because we've already started a country the way that we are. And so you and I both get accused of something. I want you to process this, and I want you to know I'm open to it. You get accused of, this guy, Tucker's taking money. Oh, Pat's a Zionist. He's taking money from Israel. Never been to Israel. AIPAC messaged me and told me, you want to come to Israel? I said, I have no interest in going to Israel for you to pay for me. I'm going to go one day with my pastor. We've never taken money from anybody. And I'm so confident with myself on what I've done because there's only one thing I fear in my life, and that's God. I don't fear anything more than I fear God. And trust me, I fear God a lot because this thing's like this. If you ever wanted to have fun, and let's just say, put it out there on the line, and again, I'll put the onus on you if you're open to this or not. Let's go hire 3 accounting firms. You pick one, I pick one, and let's get a third party that we both agree on, maybe like a KPMG, PwC, and
there's no way you ever agree to this, right?
Hypothetically, some of the biggest firms you probably recognize. You have money, you've done well for yourself. Let's have them do audited financials on me, my wife, and you and your wife, and report back to see if I've ever gotten paid from Israel, and report back to see if you've ever gotten paid from Qatar or Pakistan or any of these guys. All the businesses, all the LLCs, all the accounts, you know how this kind of works. They can kind of figure that out. And let's be honest with the audience. Let's be honest with the audience. If you're open to it, I'm available. We'll have to spend $500,000, something like that, because it's going to take a few weeks for them to do it. I am fully open to that idea if you are. And by the way, I know this may make you feel uncomfortable. You don't have to accept this offer, but I'm telling you, I'm comfortable if you want to do it. You don't have to do it because it's a little bit private. So I'm sure you're going to come out and say, how dare he want to look at my wife's bank accounts and all this other stuff? Because some people may say, well, they can pay your wife and not through you. And I get that as well. And that's why I want to be a little bit transparent with you. I've tried many times to build a relationship with you. It's been challenging. But I do want you to know that as a Christian man myself, no matter how much you go to a place to not want to believe in somebody, I've been instructed by God to try to do my best to have some grace. And I believe in you. I believe in your abilities. But I believe in God and America more than I believe in any man in America, because I've seen many great empires fall. And for as long as I'm alive and I'm kicking, and if God wants to use me as a voice to elevate how amazing of a country we live in, how lucky we are to be here, I'm going to use my voice to elevate that message. I've been doing that since the time I went to dinner with a few different people in LA, and I was inspired, and I was finally taught about how amazing this great country is, that we escaped Iran after 11 years and went to Germany at a refugee camp. And I finally came here. I served the U.S. Army 101st Airborne Division, one of the most proudest days of my life when I went into the U.S. Army. So that offers back to you. Now,
he was 100%
you have my...
Crazy, right?
Yeah, I didn't know he did airborne.
So like, bruh, God bless this dude, bro.
He's a badass man pajama.
Is that really? I didn't know that.
I mean,
it's a little bit upper.
It's not like crazy. It's not Delta or Ranger, but no, it's definitely you're badass. Yeah.
Nice. I didn't realize that.
Airborne 101 is what Medal of Honor's basically made out over the game.
Dude, follow the PVD podcast. Follow Valuetainment, bro. I think he is definitely a good speaker for America and for the movement right now,
big
bro.
Big dog flex. It'll take like $500,000, but in a couple weeks. But I'm down for it if you want to just drop $500,000. Just spend it to basically piss in the wind as a contest of transparency. Yep, I'll piss off $500,000 in under a month,
bro.
Just like buying a brand new mansion is no big deal.
Link is in.
For yourself. Come on, Tor. Like, dang, what a bit of a flex.
In the description box down below, folks. On the receipts page, you can get that and share it. Maybe somebody that is wavering on a Tucker Carlson right now.
He's very
it needs humble. A new person to watch and follow and listen to. Valuetainment. in the PBD podcast, Patrick Bet David. If you're into reading, his books are really good too.
Very humble, but he had put a little bit of I'm a big bear on campus still out there.
He said, "I know it'll cost $500,000. No big deal."
Yeah, I'm not trying to brag it all over here.
In
a little statement.
Other fantastic, great news. Do you remember that organization over in Chicago? What was it called? Oh yes, Chicago Flips Red.
That organization. Yeah.
The woman is now talking about. Oh wait, that's not that one. The woman over in the Chicago Flips Red is talking about
somewhere
running
here.
for mayor. Running for mayor of Chicago. I saw mayor and I went to that. I went to that idea.
Heck yeah.
So that's pretty cool, right? Hopefully the woman of Chicago Flips Red runs for mayor. This one is actually arrests. Here they are, folks. We want people to be arrested, and they are getting arrested. Maybe it's low level right now. It's not upper echelon of people.
Yeah, as long as there's something somewhere at least.
Former Fort Deposit, Alabama Mayor Jacqueline Boone has been arrested for mail-in ballot fraud, along with City Council candidate Stephen Thigpen. They face felony charges for unlawful use of absentee ballots. They, quote, won the August 2025 municipal election, but it got thrown out due to voter irregularities. Finally, getting some arrests. And it wasn't the 2020 presidential election, but for voter fraud.
Dang, they told me there wasn't any way they'd be able to get me. And now here I am in jail. God.
And they told me there's no way they're utilizing absentee ballots and mail-in ballots for voter fraud. So here's an example that wasn't even in the big 2020 election.
Imagine that.
Imagine that one, folks. Very interesting. But arrests are happening. You won't see it in the mainstream media news, folks. You won't see it anywhere here, but TrutherCast. So share it out to somebody you know, would you?
The one and only.
Hey, I got us the one more follower for the week. So can somebody else start chipping in around here? And how did I do it, folks? How did I do it? I did it like I always do it, folks. Talking to a nice customer friend. He says, hey, I'm kind of into this stuff. And I started talking to him about it. And then I said, yeah, I got a podcast show. He said, wait, you got a podcast show? I said, yeah, hold on. What's your Google account? Let me make you a Rumble and let me go ahead and thumbs up and follow so you can get notified of the show. He said, why, thank you. I didn't even know how to do all that. I said, I got you, buddy. And hopefully you're tuning in this week. Maybe not.
I thought you were going to say you started a new bot account. But we're only authentic.
Yeah, no.
Here.
It's against TOS to do bots, but it is not against TOS to help your friend, family member, or
make
random
a new email and then make just another account.
Or your coworker to help them make an account and follow you. That's not against TOS.
If you have multiple email accounts, you might as well just make accounts under all of them and make
not necessary.
follow.
Not necessary. That's borderline breaking the TOS out of
no, it's just being fully connected. You want to make sure you don't miss anything.
Whichever email account I'm on.
So you get 3 notifications when we go live.
It's
so
just
you
being
never
thorough.
miss us.
It's just being thorough.
Yeah.
This one I said, okay, let's see how this official open for business by way of the United States control of the Strait of Hormuz goes.
I mean,
it's going okay.
I don't know if you noticed. I've already noticed the drop in the gas prices.
Dipped a little, right?
Yeah, they already dipped a bit.
And then apparently one Iranian ship was trying to get out of the blockade, and they said, sir, there's a blockade here. You're not allowed to get out. And they just kept going, sir, we're like the United States, and we're blockading this right now. You're not allowed to get out now. And then they kept trying to get out. And then they shot a freaking missile into their engine room and said, shaboopy, you're done, bro.
You don't want to park it, we'll park it for you.
Yeah, no joke, bro.
You are going to park there, sir. Not that you can't park there. You are going to park there, sir.
So allegedly, the oil prices are plummeting?
It isn't so much that they got a sense of what the Iranian... Republicans were going to say about this, but it was just they were looking at everything that happened. I mean, we've talked about this. I peeked in right before this hit, and I think that this just shows that Trump won. Trump won, and the Arab nations won. The Arab nations with which we've been united since his first term won as well, because they saw Iran as the main.
Which reminder, everybody was wondering why I walked down that golden carpet with the Saudis. Everybody said, oh, Trump's over there with the Saudis. Why would he ever do that?
Yeah.
Made friends with
maybe
the Saudis, cleared out Maduro.
That's kind of like why, try to be friendly with your school principal or make him hate you. Like the guy that runs the place you got to be around. I mean, they don't necessarily run the place, but they have enough money to run the place pretty much. They have been a very rich country for a long time.
Kind of a big deal.
The crazy thing is they kind of are like quiet into themselves over there.
Right.
With their Muslim religion. It's almost like there's almost kind of two bits of the Muslimhood.
Yep. Just like everything, bro.
The extreme ones and the non-extreme. Oh, kind of like the liberals that just want to hug it out and have everybody be equal. And then the ones that think for that to happen, they got to kill off us ones that aren't that way and won't agree with them and just change because they told us to.
I wonder what the differential...
convincing me and giving me actual reasons why to come to your side.
You just have to go to my side. It's better, okay? Yeah, how about you explain why? I don't need to. That's asinine. There's no reason for me to explain it's better. I'm telling you it's better, so you need to just come on and follow me. And you're dumb for not doing so. Yeah, really. Other empires that have got undertaken in years past totally didn't have anything of similar circumstance. You can trust us. Drink the water. Here, Indians, take these blankets.
Oh, wait, no, that one totally never happened. We didn't do that.
What's the delta in IQ between those two cultures? The ones that want death to America, and the ones that are like, we'll keep to ourselves, you know?
Like, I mean, it is weird. You got to think of it. Their branding, theirs is pretty effective. Like, essentially, it, morphed right in. It, was almost like a video game. They plugged it into their brains, and they're just programmed to be just like them.
Well, they control the internet and everything over there.
How about the people here?
Oh, sure.
All the libtards that are like,
yes, free Palestine. They would love me over there since I'm gay and I hate men. They would absolutely love me. Free Palestine.
Which I still think.
I mean, maybe love is hanging somebody and delimiting them in center square. I mean, that might...
Their religion, it is.
I mean, it is a love possibly for eradicating the earth of their not Muslim self, as those guys say. So it would be love on their side. Empathy here. You gotta see from the other shoe.
They're not good at the empathy, so we have to help them.
Which is where they only can get the help. They can't see, so they have to experience.
Yeah.
Which is the getting pulled apart limb by limb because all of a sudden you found out they actually didn't accept you the way you are.
God bless, yeah.
Now you're learning.
We've had the guy. We covered the guy on the show, right? I don't know. Was it the president of Saudi that was doing that one interview? And he was like, I don't know what the Americans' problem is. Like, we don't have an extreme Muslim problem here in Saudi Arabia. Oh, it's because they just let everybody do whatever they want too far, and they let it happen. It's like, yeah, very true, very true.
Man,
Muslim nation doesn't have extreme terrorists. What do you know?
Yeah, when somebody does bad act and you reprimand them, they then all of a sudden don't do bad act again. Imagine that.
Yeah, like we were saying,
kind of like how the whole
capital punishment's
spanking your kids is supposed to be all frowned upon, even though everybody pretty much knows and just assumes the people that are acting as giant babies as grown adults and whatnot, more than likely were never disciplined as kids. And now we have to deal with this because they were not disciplined as a child, which can't always just be by word.
What's so difficult with humans
don't hurt.
Is we can't do anything.
They can emotionally hurt, but sometimes brain doesn't actually get cues from emotional hurt. It's not developed at that point yet.
Why
the
can't
brain only gets cues from physical interceptions from the environment, which could be pain.
Will make America great again.
It's science, which we understand. A lot of you don't understand with the whole woman thing, but it is science, so you're gonna have to just figure it out eventually, or you're gonna have a really rough life.
Why do all effing humans got to do everything 0 to 100, bro? Because 100 to 0, right? It was like, hey, we're a little bit too mean and like put down of women, and then oh my God, we're like over the board feminism in a wrong way, where now women feel like they kind of got screwed, right? And like a different. And then also it's like, hey, we're maybe like a little bit too lenient about just whooping kids like a little bit. And then, oh, it was Gen X bitched about mental problems from their parents beating the shit out of them when they did anything wrong. Or, yeah, dude, that's not good. But we overcorrected to like 0, you know, like repercussions to like to replace the like beating of your kid or something.
Well, I mean,
beating your kid, not good, bro. But, you know, hey, we still need some kind of a, you know, hey, get it together. Listen to me. You know, get on the.
It's a culture war. You know, yeah. It's the code. They changed our culture. We know from the Russians that was their psyop with the feminism to erode our culture. And how about we start? How do we fight back? Got to fight back with culture. So let's make it. We got to come up with something catchy, like make bitching bad again. Like just you can't bitch. Like America is not the land of bitching. We are no bitching people here. There is no complaining because we got it really good. So if you just stop doing that and figure out how it's good, and then there's that whole product too. Like what can we do to advance, be good? Like,
you know what I'm saying? How do you motivate people to actually create and be productive, bro?
Yeah, there's a little bit.
That's a tricky one.
Yeah, that would also help that a little bit, I'd say.
Because the money thing's falling apart right now anyway, too, right?
Because I mean, that's just all I know is the whole time you're bitching, nothing's getting done, and things that are problems that you're bitching about could be getting solved, but the whole time you just gathering up negative energy, depressing yourself, getting angry and whatnot, bitching about things.
Right. Well, hey, how do you get rid of
maybe the only place I could say it might be kind of beneficial is if they're having a city hall meeting and they're not aware of something. So you could,
or if you're watching the TrutherCast where we kind of bitch and complain about our things we think are worth bitching and complaining about, but that's all I kept thinking about.
Yeah. I guess, well, because like the talking about what's wrong, I get because bitching more just like whining.
Yeah. Useless whining.
Talking is right.
Well, that's where I was kind of getting at.
I don't have it exactly how I want because, like, I should just have it that way and not have to work that hard for it.
That's what I was getting at with that video game. So it's Capcom, and I think they're Japanese, and so it's almost like somebody decided, hey, we're going to make a video game that does promote father-daughter culture because, oh my God, we have a population collapsing problem over in Japan where there's not enough young people to support the old people and their, you know, Medicaid system kind of, you know, blah, blah, blah. And that's what we're heading for right now, man. Like we're literally heading for a upside down pyramid where there will not be enough young workers to help the old people, which also is a part of what the robots are designed to fix, bro.
I was going to say we need C-3POs fast.
Right. The robots will have to help the old people. Next up, quick honorable mention here. I hear that the conservatives appear to have blocked an attempt to ram through a 5-year extension of FISA. Extending it only by 2 weeks, though. And I do believe that Trump came out in support of extending FISA, which hurts because we don't like the FISA. What's the FISA again? It's that thing that the bad guys use against us or something, right? Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act of 1978 is a U.S. federal law that establishes legal procedures for conducting electronic surveillance, physical searches, gathering business records to collect foreign intelligence information, often involving a specialized secret court. Yeah, so some like behind the scenes kind of bullshit. Maybe it's good if we're trying to stop foreign people, but I believe our point is that we don't like it because they abuse it, and then it's secret. So like,
yeah, if they abuse it, then there's no repercussions to them ever. The only one that's shit out of luck is you.
Yeah, right. This one's kind of, yeah, I don't know. This one's like inside baseball. Long story short, if you're into this, folks, you know, hey, check it out on the receipts page if you want to check it out. But this one was, they put a side-by-side of Nick Fuentes and Anna Kasparian from the Young Turks. And they're literally saying the same thing right now.
Israeli occupation of the United States government.
Israel controls our government.
Israel controls our government.
Control and influence and manipulate our system.
Ruled and controlled and manipulated by the nation state of Israel.
They are vampires. They suck our blood.
They suck the life out of this country.
We cannot be slaves to Israel.
I'm not a slave to Israel.
Iran does not have a nuclear weapon.
Iran did not have a nuclear arsenal.
The supreme leader of Iran promulgated a fatwa.
He had to put out a fatwa against nuclear weapons.
We had to join Israel's war.
Which, by the way, was the president, not the leader of the Islamic regime. Because how they kept it like under wraps was like, oh no, the government's over here totally not controlled by the Islamic regime. But then like the whole country was run how the Islamic regime would want it to be run. So like, I don't know, this inside baseball shit, bro, but it's kind of like Project Mockingbird, but we've gone past the television and now we're to the media podcasters and stuff. And it sucks because
I think they're banging on the back.
You're right. She's just listening to Nick Fuentes a lot.
No, they just got a relationship in the back.
Good call. Good
Generally,
call.
the opposites end up having a fierce relationship.
Good call.
Yeah,
But yeah,
no, they're dating. Oh yeah.
The Nick Fuentes, bro, is tricky because he says good America first stuff, but then he says like crazy, way too extreme righty, a little bit crazy. In my middle of the roadie, pretty much kind of guy opinion.
Just a little bit of bipolar and
I think you're
in
onto
the
something. I
podcast.
didn't think about that, bro. They're banging. Problem solved.
Yep.
Question answered.
They're banging.
So simple.
Yep. Simple's always the first one to go to, man. What's the simplest route?
Occam's razor, they call it. Tim
If they're
Pool
both
likes
saying
that
the
a
same
lot.
thing, they must be talking. And if those two are talking, I would assume they're not just talking.
Yeah, that was good. So the U.S. is now the undisputed energy superpower of the world, allegedly.
Superpower.
So everybody's saying, you know, like just kind of like they were saying, like Iran did not have a nuclear weapon. People are just pulling it out of their butt.
Well, it's like, yeah, no, they didn't. The point was they were going to.
Touche,
and
yeah.
then the thing is,
good job, literal
there's
Dan.
no second. Like the second it's ready, it's like, all right, where are we firing it?
Yeah.
That's probably what they're doing.
Yeah.
And what they want is, so the point is to not
I
let
want the
them
pushy
have
button.
it.
I want the pushy
Yeah,
button.
the point is to not let them have it.
Yeah,
So then there's
touche.
not a possible unfortunate system of like,
Another
for
good
some
one.
reason, just like all of our systems shit the bed just because that's how luck goes. And then all of a sudden the missile flies through all defense systems for no good reason, just because the world is sometimes crappy. And then it blows up a bunch of innocent people. Yeah, that would not be good. So we just don't let them get to that point.
Or heaven forbid.
Yeah, that's the point. And they don't still. You're welcome.
Or heaven forbid they did get some tech from China that like gets past our detection systems and then it worked. You know, like
who
knows, right? Like
different ways of how it could
have
have went.
happened.
Yeah.
You know,
The main thing is if they have a nuke that could possibly, within that button, get sent off to somewhere, there's probably minutes in between it being ready, and then just double check it. You sure it's not going to blow up if we launch it? For real? He didn't mess anything up? I'm not going to die? Actually, here, I'm going to take some minutes to travel far away from here, and then we're going to do this. That's the minutes in between, and I already know who I want to send the missile to because they've been thinking about it their whole life. And so the minutes are just them leaving
and
safety, so only the possible,
cannot
the
wait to send this missile.
The lackeys and the scientists die if they messed it up or not, because they obviously don't trust their own scientists either.
Right.
They off them if they did if they even mentioned about, sabotaging them or doing any of
Like
that.
Nazi
Or just
style.
not building the bomb. There you go. You
Right.
either can build the bomb or we're going to kill you.
Right.
It looks like I'm in the bomb. Like that's what would happen over there.
Right. Very true, man.
So yeah, we kind of don't have much of another position except to just not let them have a nuke. And they had to bury it. We're in the days of a lot more technology. They dug really deep in the ground. And the only way for us to get that deep in the ground safely without killing any of our own people was throwing in a big ass bomb. And it looks really bad out there because people are like, oh yeah, it's destruction, it's fire, obviously. Yeah.
It's the bunker busters. That's what they are, Dan. The bunker busters were fantastic.
Was tax money I was glad got used because it did some actual usefulness in the world.
Bro, the Iran conflict is still cheaper
down there.
It's still cheaper than the Ukraine-funded proxy war. It's cheaper than the Minnesota alleged fraud. It's cheaper than the wasted money fraud in California. It's cheaper than the Ohio alleged fraud of the Somalis. Like,
yeah,
kind of crazy, bro. So people are trying to say that this is bullshit news, but we are now the undisputed energy superpower of the world. 24 million barrels per day, more than Saudi Arabia and Russia combined. Natural gas, 119 billion cubic feet per day. I swear to baby Jesus, we better see them prices drop on frickin' gas, bro. It's like, man, I'm sick of paying the damn electric and gas bills that are like 4 times more than fucking what I was used to before, man. God dang.
Yeah, making more money is one thing, but just letting us reap the benefits of this country that we and families of ours, heritage bloodlines, have fought and lost people to defend and be able to use the rights of all this riches we have so we all can live a wonderful life here.
Oh, straight up, dog. God dang.
And we're here just like scraping by like,
please, sir, may I have another?
How about we flip that script a little bit so we can get back to living as Americans and enjoying this life instead of having to just slave for those people that already have it good up top.
I know,
just because they want dictatorial power.
But part of it, dude, is you just got to get smarter.
They want their families to be rich.
You got to get smarter, and you got to do something that gets you out the effing rat race, bro. It's a pull your effing boots up by the straps scenario.
Too. Yeah, you can't just sit there and do nothing in a society.
Tricky, bro.
Yeah, you got to at least give some value. I mean, you don't got to be a rocket scientist to live good. That shouldn't.
No, but you got to produce something of value, and then bam. Something. You know, again, how do you motivate people? Because now we're all depressed and